opportunity. Proud of the way he's handled himself all season. Be a great opportunity for him to go out and develop, continue to grow as a quarterback. So excited for that. As far as AR, not going to activate AR. Had a conversation in my office yesterday with him. It was great. He's still got the vision limitations. It's just a smart thing. Obviously, put him out there with vision limitations. Something happens. Not a good idea. So we want to activate him. Seth Hennigan, we signed him to the practice squad. Try to get him up to speed this week. See how it goes. And if he feels comfortable with it, there's a good chance he'll be the backup there. As far as Phillip, obviously grateful for Phillip. A lot of people ask me, he's sticking around this week? I said, yeah, he's sticking around. He's going to finish this thing out and be a mentor to Riley, and obviously being from the same hometown as Riley in Fairhope. He's excited for that, and scout team and battle like crazy with the guys. But, grateful, for the 3 weeks that he came back. Means a lot to a lot of guys in this locker room.
Ideally, he'd be the emergency quarterback?
Yeah, possibly.
So Seth, for whatever reason, doesn't get up to speed, Phil would be back.
Correct.
What kind of opportunity do you think this is for Riley at this point in the season?
I think it's a huge opportunity. Anytime you get a chance to go out and compete and show what you're about, obviously he's been working his tail off. He's done it the right way ever since he got here, since we drafted him, training camp. Obviously going through all the stuff with Daniel, off days, grinding away. So I'm really excited for his opportunity.
Did Phillip want to start?
You know what? I think there's a lot of emotions there. He could probably answer that better than I could. But there's a lot of emotions there. Being 44 years old and coming out of this thing healthy, is a blessing for him too as well. And so he's grateful for that. Like you said, he wouldn't change anything. Coming back out here with the guys and battling, it's been an honor and privilege.
What were your, the physical part, I know that you had to have some concerns about that, and he did come through well there. How much of a concern was that coming in, and then how impressive was it that he?
Yeah, I think that was the biggest concern for everybody. You know what I mean? Not playing in 5 years, and obviously probably a lot of prayers from him and a lot of people, to get through this thing healthy. And he's the ultimate competitor, and for him to come out of this thing healthy, is an ultimate blessing.
I know you told us the last couple times we talked to you that this would be a conversation with you and him, I'm sure some other people in the organization. How did you guys ultimately come to feeling like it was best for to give Riley a shot?
Well, I think, obviously being out of the playoffs, we like even last week, It was, hey, who's going to play? It's like, well, we didn't know what was going to happen with the playoff situation. Obviously, it happened Saturday night. And so obviously this week we know for sure, and it's an opportunity for Riley to go out and compete.
You mentioned that you had a conversation with Anthony about not being activated. What ultimately went into the decision to not have him be activated? I know we talked about the vision. Is that still the biggest factor?
Yeah, that's the biggest factor. There's no physical ability. He can run around and throw and stuff, but it's just the vision limitations that he has right now.
First start for Riley, but it's obviously a tough matchup against the Texans. They're number one or around the top in most things. How do you kind of manage expectations with that kind of matchup?
Well, I think we just got to be efficient, running the football, getting the ball out of our hands quick. Like I said, they're really good on defense. They got 2 edge rushers that are the premier in the league right now. Linebackers are good. Stingley's good. Bullock's good. Shazier. They got some good players. So we just got to be efficient on first, second down, keep the chains moving, and go from there.
How difficult do you think this has been for Anthony, just trying to get back?
Yeah, very difficult. It was a freak accident that happened, and like I said, I had a long conversation with him yesterday in my office, and I feel for him. Because it is. It's a terrible thing that happened. He never wanted to happen. You don't know why things happen, but he's been in good spirits, and he's battling like crazy, and hopefully everything comes back good, and it'll be good.
How much of that do you think was team decision? Because, for example, guys can play through things, and they have played through things, but with this one, was this the team stepping in and saying, we have to make sure you don't make something worse? Or?
Yeah, think about it. If you don't have a perfect eyesight there and something happens, you don't see someone and you get hit. That's not a good thing. You know what I mean? So we just want to be smart with it.
What do you see when you think about his long-term future? I know it's a very vague question, but you still think there's
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for him is just to make sure that vision, comes back fully, and then we go from there. He's a talented player, very talented, can make all the throws and run around and make plays, so, just praying for his health right now.
The soft spot?
We'll see. He's going to push this week, but if he's not 100%, we'll be smart there.
Portolini's still in protocol. Would he practice today?
Yeah, he'll practice today, and then they'll see the independent on Friday.
Are there any other, you're talking about Riley getting to start, the playoffs, are there any other guys who would get a look who maybe haven't played a whole lot this year, on Sunday, just with the game week 18?
Yeah, there'll be some guys that we've been talking about, and we'll continue to talk about throughout the week, but you'll probably see some guys out there.
With Anthony, as he's returned to practice, I know, when he did, you mentioned the vision limitations the first time. I know that's probably something that's a little bit subjective, and he's ultimately the guy that knows it best. Do you feel like that has improved at all? Do you guys have any indication of that, or how has that, or
Yeah,
where is that
I think
now?
he's managing it. I think he's managing it, and over time, hopefully it'll continue to heal and get better.
Last year, you guys were eliminated week 18, you won the game. Did you find that beneficial? I don't, obviously you're trying to win, but like, did you find that beneficial at all?
Yeah, you always want to finish the season strong, regardless of the circumstances. You got to go out there and compete your tails off. And that's what I told the guys today in the team meeting is, let's finish this thing the right way. Let's prepare the right way, and let's go out and have fun and play together.
Do you allow yourself to strive for like statistical milestones in instances like this, like Jonathan the rushing title, like Alec, 1,000 yards, stuff like that?
Yeah, I think that those are individual awards, but obviously those are cool awards too. You know what I mean? Individually, I mean, we go out there as a team, we play together. You fight for the guy next to you. You represent the organization, but you represent the name on the back of your jersey as well every time you step out there. And so, if those guys got those deals, that'd be pretty cool.
Shane, you talked about trying to finish. How important is it to get this, to snap this losing streak so that the people aren't looking at a 7-game losing streak?
Yeah, absolutely. You're always trying to go out and find ways to win the game, especially on the road against a hell of a football team, a division opponent. You go out there and battle, put in the work during the week, and go out and try to execute as best you can and try to find a way to win.
What's Daniel been up to the last couple of weeks? We've seen him around a lot more.
Yeah.
On pregame.
He's in every meeting. Obviously he's got the boot on, so but he's been in every meeting. He comes to every practice. He's always around, still in the QB meetings, off days. He's in the QB room, studying the tape, preparing, even though he's not playing, still going through everything. So he's still fully engaged, and that's been good.
How important is Alec Pierce to this offense?
Very important. He's made unbelievable strides. I mean, unbelievable strides. The plays he made this year, the big time plays down the field, the intermediate stuff, the catch and runs. He's been a pleasure for sure. There's no doubt about it. He's been awesome for us this year.
You've seen Riley make strides since you drafted him.
Yeah, I think with learning the offense and seeing different things, and even in the meeting room, just talking protections and coverage looks, and I think it's been very beneficial, for him all year, being around a guy like Daniel too that sees it, and they have their side conversation. Those guys get together and meet, when we're not here, and go through the call sheet at the house, and so I think that's been huge for him, from a mental standpoint. So like I said, I'm really excited for his opportunity, come Sunday.
He got called back for OPI, but in Jacksonville, looked like he kind of set protection against the blitz, and he threw what would have been that touchdown hit. Was that kind of one of those impressive moments?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he saw the blitz coming, got us into the right protection, threw a great ball to Pitt. That's the strides you want to see. And obviously for him doing that, did some good things in that game, so excited.
Reggie made finalists for Hall of Fame again. What would be your pitch for him to get in?
I mean, man, put him in. Jeez. I mean, the guy, what he's done over his career, and even, we still teach cut-ups of him in our meetings. But his statistical numbers are right there, with Andre Johnson. I think they're a little bit better, Chad. You correct me if I'm wrong, but they're right there, and Andre got in. So I think there's no reason that he shouldn't get in the Hall of Fame. He did it the right way. He showed up for his guys. Hearing the stories, from the training room and everything, how hard he practiced, I think was the most impressive thing. They said he always showed up, and he always practiced, and he always did it the right way. And then he showed up on Sundays. And he's the ultimate competitor, made a ton of plays. He should definitely get in.
Have you seen him grow as a coach? Because he was like reluctant to get into it when he first got approached, I think, by Pagano and Frank years ago. Have you seen him in your short time here?
Yeah, it's been great. Obviously, being with him for 3 years now, you do see the growth. Just like with a player or a coach, you go through, it's a whole different world. But the way he gets those guys ready to play, and the wisdom really that he gives those players in that receiver room has been phenomenal. Doing it at such a high level, should be a Hall of Famer. I think those guys have a ton of respect for him. It's just been impressive to watch.
Whether it's Borg or Gonzalez, Travis, you relied on a lot of those kind of younger, middle round picks. What have you seen from those offensive line next year?
I think they're making great strides. I think Borg has been really great for us all year. Really smart as far as setting protections and IDs and all that stuff. For a second-year player has been phenomenal. And Gonzalez is just a really tough dude that shows up, every day and gives everything he got. And then Jalen Travis is a monster of a man, and he's really smart as well. So really excited, about all three of those guys' future.
With Borg, was there ever hesitancy to put all that on his plate in his first year starting, or?
Well, I think even the first year being around, Ryan Kelly and being in those meetings for a year, and Tony teaching that stuff. Sorry, he's been phenomenal in that regard. Yeah, he's been great.